Welcome back to Park Jones. Let me tell you guys, the turkeys have come home to roost. We're getting into the latest developments in the federal case against Lynn Price, the former co-owner of Houston's Turkey Leg Hut. The latest developments shouldn't be surprising if you've been following the never-ending drama that is the Turkey Leg Hut, but do me a favor, hit the like button and watch until the end because there are some serious allegations here.
New at 3, bombshell claims in the federal arson case against the former Turkey Leg Hut co-owner. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Andy Serrano.
And I'm Lisa Hernandez. Right now, a judge is deciding whether to keep Lynn Price in custody after prosecutors shared concerns that he threatened a witness or potential jurors. KPRC2's Bryce Newberry live in the newsroom after hours in the courtroom this morning. Bryce.
Yeah, Lisa and Andy, for the former Turkey Leg Hut owner, federal prosecutors say the turkeys have come home to roost. They say for years, Lynn Price has tried to keep his hands clean of crimes, paying off others to do the dirty work, and they want to keep him in custody.
So federal prosecutors allege that Lyndell orchestrated the arson of Bar 5015 in June 2020 that we covered in the last video. According to court documents, Lyndell recruited Armani Williams and John Lee Price, no relation, to carry out the act. John Lee began doing odd jobs for Lyndell starting back in 2018 after John Lee served a 30-month federal prison sentence, while Armani was a former employee of the Turkey Leg Hut. Newly released surveillance footage allegedly shows these men pouring gasoline throughout Bar 5015 and igniting it, leading to an explosion that caused over $750,000 in damages. Now, here's where things get crazy. Allegations suggest that Lyndell paid these men $1,400 for their involvement. I want to be very clear. These men did not get $1,400 individually. They got $1,400 to share amongst themselves. Now, let me tell you guys this. Anyone willing to play around with lighter fluid or gasoline and share $1,400 has absolutely nothing to lose, okay? We know this because, one, it's conventional wisdom, but we also learned that John Lee was arrested in 2023 for an unrelated federal street pharmaceutical case where he confessed his involvement to the FBI and implicated Lyndell. Armani also confessed his role in the fire and told investigators that he feared Lyndell due to his history of violence. So all of that to say, for $1,400, you get what you pay for.
It's kind of been surreal.
A tough hit back-to-back for Bar 5015 owner Stephen Rogers, the well-known business owner and Houston socialite, just climbing back into business following nearly a 2-month-long shutdown during the pandemic. And now, this.
It really hurts us all to see the boards, the nails, you're just lightly stepping over things.
A fire to his bar set on purpose caused a massive explosion, according to fire investigators.
We just had an explosion in the 5100 block of Alameda.
A splintered wood and debris covered Alameda Road.
It's almost like losing a child, almost, because it's been all the texts I've been getting is the first thing is sorry for your loss.
So Bar 5015 is owned by Steve Rogers, who was also a co-owner of the Turkey Leg Hut. Steve allegedly told investigators that Lyndell tried to buy his way into Bar 5015 and showed up with a box full of cash. Steve wanted nothing to do with Lyndell or his then-wife Nakia due to the concerns at the Turkey Leg Hut.
The owner of that bar allegedly told FBI agents he initially planned to bring Lynn Price into that business, but then decided not to. The owner allegedly turned down a box of cash Lynn Price brought him to be part of the ownership team. And then when Bar 5015 started selling crawfish, apparently using the Turkey Leg Hut supplier, the owner said Lynn Price called screaming and hollering and threatened to blow the place up.
Steve actually sued Lyndell and his then-wife Nakia in July 2020 for financial mismanagement. This was a month after the fire. Lyndell allegedly told Steve that he'd blow the place up if certain conditions were not met. Now, this is crazy because there were several allegations that the Turkey Leg Hut was not paying their vendors on time. Anyways, Lyndell has a history of violence, and someone on the last video actually said that just because he looks like Suge Knight doesn't mean he needs to act like Suge Knight, which I thought was hilarious. But depending on who you ask, Lyndell can be a scary man. When he was arrested last month, constables found 2 shotguns, 3 rifles, a pistol, a flamethrower, 960 rounds of ammo and magazines. This, paired with his history, is very concerning. Prosecutors shared text messages between Lyndell and the former general manager of the Turkey Leg Hut, and Lyndell suspected the general manager may have been stealing money, and he told her that he would go to her house and unalive the dog if she didn't stop playing. This is sociopathic. His defense attorney, Chuck Ibungo, even acknowledged that Lyndell could have approached the situation differently. But here's the thing. Lyndell has allegedly exhibited violent behavior for years. In July 2021, he allegedly slapped his then-wife Nakia while she was pregnant. In December 2022, a Lyft driver alleged he pointed a weapon at him near the Turkey Leg Hut. In February 2024, a 52-year-old man alleged that Lyndell choked and pushed him out of the Tipsy Lounge. And in October 2024, his girlfriend alleged Lyndell pushed her out of the Oyster Hut. At this point, anyone who has ever been personally victimized by Lynn Price, please raise your hand. So here's the thing. Lyndell likes fires. So again, John Lee did odd jobs for Lyndell, and John Lee alleges that he used to steal ATVs, cars, and engines, and then Lyndell would either sell or strip the stolen goods.
And Bryce, we understand Lynn Price is accused of another arson in this current indictment. What did you find out about that?
Yeah, Andy, in April of 2020, prosecutors say he paid a co-defendant to steal a 1975 Chevy Nova because Lynn Price wanted the engine out of it. But once they took that truck to the mechanic, they found out it had been stolen from a police officer who owned it. It was then found burned near railroad tracks and a retention pond. Now, around both of these alleged arsons, prosecutors say call records show the 2 men were in touch.
And now that more is coming out, I have questions about the 2024 fire that took place at the Turkey Leg Hut office.
Right now, fire crews are looking into what caused a fire at the operating office for the Turkey Leg Hut overnight.
This all happened early this morning at the home office along Rosedale near Almeda Road. Our TJ Parker just arrived to the scene there with what he's learning this morning. TJ?
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, I just went inside the Turkey Leg Hut, talked to the guys inside there to try and get some more information on what happened here. They said the fire department left within the past 30 minutes and not too much damage, as you can see from the outside of this building. But if we push in here, you can see that screen a little warped. Most of the damage, we understand, happened on the inside of this building. This happened just a couple of hours ago. This is video from earlier this morning. HFD responded right after 4. You can see that heavy smoke coming out of the front of the building. The good news is it doesn't seem like anybody was home or was here at the time of this fire, so nobody was hurt. No word yet on what started this. We have reached out to the owner of the Turkey Leg Hut to kind of get a better understanding of what happened here. Of course, once we hear back from them, we'll let you know more on this. But again, fire happening inside the corporate offices here at the Turkey Leg Hut early this morning. The cause still under investigation.
Remember, this was about the same time Lyndell and his then-wife Nakia were going through a divorce. And there's also been some chatter about a 2005 fire where Lyndell was arrested and received deferred adjudication. But wait, there's more allegations. Prosecutors allege that street pharmaceutical activity took place at the Turkey Leg Hut from 2022 to 2023.
The FBI agent testified under oath that same co-defendant admitted to bringing truckloads of hydro marijuana from California that would be stored at the Turkey Leg Hut and then got sold at the restaurant in custom branded packaging. Prosecutors allege Lynn Price got the proceeds and gave some of the money to that co-defendant.
Prosecutors say that the Turkey Leg Hut had special packaging for the street pharmaceutical, and shortly before his arrest, Lyndell posted about his Mary Jane growing business on Instagram. I don't think that post is going to age well, but we'll just have to wait and see. Now, if you've been following the ongoing saga that is the Turkey Leg Hut, you'll remember that Lyndell and his then-wife Nakia said something along the lines of their business being a family restaurant where people bring their children, woo, woo, woo. Well, I'll get into more of that later, but if the allegations here are true, this doesn't sound like a place you'd want to bring your children. And some of the statements that Lyndell and Nakia made at that time were very controversial. So now that we're knowing all of this and we're piecing together their statements, things are looking a little funky. All right, let's wrap it up. So, Lyndell was arrested last month and he has since pleaded not guilty. During a detention hearing, prosecutors argued that Lyndell poses a threat to the community and should remain in custody.
Price's attorney argues he is not a danger to the community. He's actually helped the community after natural disasters.
Mr. Lyndell Price deserves a bond for various reasons. One being that he's not a danger to the community. You heard multiple testimony as it relates to his community involvement, the things that he does for the community. But more importantly, the co-defendants that are on his indictment have all been given a bond. So we're asking for equity and asking for a bond similar to the other people on his indictment.
Former NBA player and coach Don Chaney submitted a letter vouching for Lyndell's character. From my very little sports knowledge, aka Google, Don Chaney is well regarded and has a strong legacy, so to want to be associated with Lyndell and his shenanigans is absolutely ridiculous. And I'm gonna need Don Chaney's family to step in. Anyways, what are your thoughts on this ridiculous saga that is the Turkey Leg Hut? Are you surprised by the allegations, and do you think Lyndell is innocent? If you enjoy the work I do here on this channel, please take a moment to comment, like, and subscribe. I'm your host, Parke Jones, and I'll catch you on the next one.